From my experience, deal with breast cancer for almost 20 years, is do not treat as the cancer. Because once you think the cancer, you automatically put yourself or the patient at the wrong side of the healing journey. So the real need to try to understand is energy issues. Chinese medicine said is qi issues. The easiest way to say is the qi stagnation, but also is a blood clot. These two elements, if they stuck at the breast areas long enough, if we don't address, then can cause what today's society call breast cancer. Can be breast mass, can be cancer. So what is the cancer? All modern science try to look at the cell turn to the cancer cell. Is the cell go out boundary? The boundary of the body. So the body is cells. All the cells can live in the boundary. But once the cell go off the boundary, then turned to either the qi stagnation or blood clot. So in order to go down this concept, we don't treat it as the cancer, we treat it as the qi stagnation or blood clot. Then we'll put this complicated case, what we call the chaos case, simplifies as the qi stagnation blood clot. So that will be much simple. Instead of giving the label cancer, the Chinese medicine point of view in the qi stagnation, first we need to understand what is the qi. What is the qi? The qi can divide as 4 areas. Number 1 is the power. The qi contains power. That's why you say, do you have qi? Oh, I feel no qi, I feel tired. Power, this power can be physical power, emotional power. So the physical power can be shown in many different ways. Can you run? Can you jump? Can you swim? Can you carry things? Can you push things? They are all physical power. But the mental power is, can you be peace? Can you focus? Can you create something? Can you have an imagination? That's mental power. That's easy to understand when we talk about the qi. But the second level of the qi is information. So when we see this power, physical power, or physical location, then there's always information connect. Which means in today's science, we say space and time. Once you talk about the space, that's always related to information. The information of the power become who you are, where you are, how you are, when you are, what year you born, what month you born, what day, what time. Why do you need to ask this? Because that's talk about you as the human beings coming down to this earth. How much energy you contain, receive, not just from your parents, but also for nature, for the environment, because every year has a different kind of energy in the nature. I think everybody knows some years the grape is so delicious when they make the wine. How come? Because that year, nature's energy is different. Therefore, even processing can be the same, but the grape create a unique flavor and the taste. So if it can change by grape, why not change by human beings? So that's why information always contained in this qi level. That also becomes the visible part. What's the visible part? Just like a location. We say how many women survive breast cancer? The question becomes, how many women will you go back based on the location of the breast cancer? Try to understand this location associated which organ function disorder and where they need to improve their physical body, the emotional body. So allow their body stay balance and harmony, then cancer never recurs. That's called information. Third one, we call consciousness, is the wisdom. Because qi contained something much deeper behind what we can see. So that is at the invisible level. It's totally invisible level. It's not at the visible level can understand. Then definitely, the most important part of the qi is the life source. The life source. So that's why we say the source comes from outside the space, comes from the universe. So once you understand this qi, then you'll be so simple to understand when someone diagnoses you as the breast cancer on this area, then power, which is location, mass, location, information related to which organ, which meridians, when, how, where, what. That's all the information. Then you go much deeper to say, why? Why? The why becomes so important because every organ that's always related to emotions. Why you are cancer at the breast? Why you at the breast in this area, not on the other area? They all has purpose. So that's why modern science tell us everything is energy, consciousness, and purpose. So that's why when Chinese medicine deal breast cancer, what I learned is don't tell that it's the breast cancer. Just say that it's the energy stagnation and lead the patient to understand, to treat this disease or illness, you have to change the mind. You have to understand as long as qi can flow freely, disease cannot enter. Do I answer your question?
You did. I think one of the most important things that you've already discussed is when the body is balanced, disease cannot enter. When the Western perspective, when we think about breast cancer, it's immediately just about it's breast cancer, it's scary. There's not a lot of understanding of why this is happening. So tell us more about breast cancer and the energy stagnation in the breast. There's different areas where breast cancer can occur, and that's actually significant. So it'd be really helpful to understand a little bit more about that.
So in order to understand, TCM viewed this cancer, we don't say, oh, cancer just a cell out of balance. We have to understand where they come from. The come from is life of balance. That's the first one. It's life of balance, then cause emotional off balance. Then when emotional off balance, we don't deal with it. Then little by little, the body will show the out of balance. So in order to really treat these body issues, we must go back to the root cause. The root cause, if we still use the breast cancer concept, the root cause of breast cancer is not a cancer, it's life of balance. Without a change in life, you never treat the root cause the problem. But today, what we see, most of the time people doesn't treat the root cause of breast cancer. They only treat cancer itself. So the cancer can be treated. Cancer disappears. After chemo, after radiation, the cancer is gone. But life never changes. So that's why Chinese medicine always say, don't change shoes. You must change the path. It's the life path change. Then the cancer will never come back. That is the why caused the breast cancer. From what I see for my patients, every woman's got breast cancer, they are strong women. The weak women never get breast cancer. They are all strong, emotional strong. That's the one thing. Very interesting. They emotional strong. They always want to fight. They always want to be successful. They always want to see herself. Right? Then therefore, the emotions is always out of balance. Now, in the Chinese medicine, real come out because it's a qi issue. We say it's qi stagnation caused the blood stagnation, blood clot. So if that's the qi, we say, what is qi? Emotional is qi. So therefore, we can turn this complicated breast cancer to the simple condition is emotional out of balance. So you treat the emotions, you treat the cancer. Be much simple and much directly because emotions is energy. I think most women have experience. Before the menstrual cycle, if they get stress, emotional stress, life stress, during the menstrual cycle, they have breast tenderness, they have pain, they might have lumps, right? So if next month, stress going down, then when they have a menstrual cycle, the breast tenderness and the painful will be much less. So they already have experience their emotions directly impact breast areas. For those has this kind of symptoms, they must really look at it. That means their emotions is very powerful. Their emotions is very powerful. Their beliefs is very powerful. Their creativities is very powerful. So therefore, how to use the creativity, how to use emotions for the right healing path. That is the Chinese medicine field. Chinese medicine always try to guide the woman how to use their creativity, their strength, the power of emotions to treat their conditions.
So that begs the question then, how do we do that? Because this is wonderful to hear that this is such an important part. Western medicine doesn't really address this. So how do we go about using the emotions?
So for example, we can use the chart to understand this concept. We can see the chart, study show, that's 10 years ago. Now I think it'll be much worse. 10 years ago, you see the upper quad, it's 50% of breast cancer at this area. So then we go to the center line, it's 18%. The lower out quad is 11%. Then the inner upper quad is 15%. And the inner lower part is 6%. Why I show this graphic? So think this concept. At the real estate, that's one of the famous lines. They say location, location, location. In Chinese medicine, also based on the location. Because the breast cancer is one of the most unique cancer. Because whatever the cancer location, that's always directly related to the meridians, which is the energy network. In other words, the breast cancer is an energy cancer. It's energy. So what is energy? Emotions is energy. The meridians is energy. So the meridians has an issue. Then the organ has an issue. Now look at the out quad. That part, 50% of breast cancer at this location. This location associated with the pericardiums, meridians. But also, because the pericardium meridians has a special relationship with the stomach and the heart. And therefore, if the digestive system has issues, digestive system because of stomach, then these areas will be easier allow the breast cancer exist. So now you look at this, 50% is upper quad. The center lines, the straight all the way center line, so from the face all the way down to the nipple, complete all the way down, that's the stomach meridians. Add these two together is what? It's 68%. So if I just put these theories, if we can allow energy flow freely through the pericardium and the stomach, we are 68% the chance prevent breast cancer, right? How grateful is 68%. Then the lower alpha is 11%. That's what they see. But the most likely, this area are directly related to the liver function. Now, let me show you the other framework, which is called the 5-element consciousness framework. In this framework, now we see if a stomach with the liver, what kind of relationship? That is the support relationship. In other words, all your digestive system without the liver involved, you never can have healthy digestive system. Then we often think in digestive system just for food. No, digestive system is for digest, not just food. Also digest your thought, your emotions, your thinking, your creativity. It's all creations, creativity, manifestation that all come from this digestive system. Then without the liver health, never happens. So therefore, the liver and your digestive system become unique pairs. They cannot separate. It's side by side. Now look at these two. If we put these two together, so the other one is 68%. Now adding the 11%, then will be what? 79%. 79%. If we can take care of these two organs, we can take care of these two organs related to energy and emotions, we have 79% the chance to prevent breast cancer. How good is it? Look at the prevention. Just based on this thing, that's another theory. You ask any good Chinese acupuncturists, Chinese doctors, they all tell you that's a standard. That is the fundamental rules. Liver and the stomach must be working side by side. Healthy liver function can promote a healthy digestive system. And the liver function related to your emotions. So think about it. All the emotions is related to your liver function. Right? So just based on this, you will truly understand why Chinese medicine becomes so unique in breast cancer prevention or breast cancer treatment.
So when you talk about emotions being off balance and it being so critical to understanding the relationship to the liver and the stomach, what kind of emotions do you see in your practice that people have that are in line with being off balance?
That's a Very good question, but that's a very difficult answers question because it takes sessions, takes hours to understand. Right? So in order to truly understand this, then we have to go much deeper. Remember we say the chi level, consciousness level. You have to go to the consciousness level. You cannot stand and materialize the level. Materialized level is a cancer. It's a stagnation. But it's a consciousness level. The consciousness level, what's happening, why it happens. You have to understand why. So thinking is a whole concept. Why it happens? Why breast? Identity. That's a consciousness of the breast. It's a woman's identity. So that means identity be challenged. Can you understand this way? So you must understand this way, then you must change this kind of identity. Not say, oh, I changed my identity. Change the way how to think yourself. And from what I see, all of this breast cancer, my patients, they all tell me they feel nobody understanding themselves. They wish someone can see it. Unfortunately, no one can see it. So they have to create this energy. So don't think it's a cancer. Think of this energy events. So once you can think about it as the energy events, that will be much easier to change how to deal because it's just energy shows, energy performing.
I don't want to go too far into treatment or the things you're going to be speaking about down the road. So I know you're going to be speaking more about emotions. You've already spoken about emotions being key and changing the mind being key in order to understand breast cancer. Can you tell us more about changing the mind?
You have to understand one thing. That's just Chinese medicine. Even we don't use Chinese medicine with Western medicine concept. So how do we diagnose the breast cancer? All the technology what we use, EKG, MRI, X-ray, even during the treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, all of these is based on the modern science, right? They are not based on the classical science. They're based on the modern science. So the modern science, the two of the fundamental structures in the modern science, one is the relativity theories, one is the quantum theories. So quantum theories tell us everything is connected. In order to understand one, you must understand the whole. Nothing can be separate. They are all interconnected. Relativity theories tell us energy and the matters are interchangeable. So think of this, energy and the matters are interchangeable, E equal to mc squared, which means energy and the matters are interchangeable. The cancer is the M. Different cancer, different energy. Different size the cancer, different amount of energy, right? The energy and the matters are interchangeable. To change the matters, you change the energy. So that's called energy. But in Chinese medicine, we call it the qi. So the qi can change. So change the qi, change the matters, and change the cancer. See? Then also, relativity theories tell us the most important things is the time and the space cannot be separated. What is the space? Location. We go back to the first chart. You can see location, location, location. Different locations associated different time. What is the time? Now become challenging for us. Time is emotions. Time is feelings. Suppose I say, Can you tell me in these 10 days, what is the most exciting things? Can you remember? You can manipulate the whole time. You can change the whole length of the time based on your feelings. Location change and the time change. That's the modern science, not the classical science. The Chinese medicine say the same thing. Therefore, we must understand, just treat the location of the cancer, we only change the space. We haven't changed the time, according for modern science. As long as time exists, space still exists, cannot be separated. I often tell my patients, you must go deeper, try to understand, use the framework to allow you see this location, the space associated with these lines, the energy associated with your emotions. Then we can look at the 5-element consciousness framework. You can see everything is connected. Season, time, color, your taste, your everything is connected. Cannot be separated. You move one thing, everything is changed. Right? When we deal the breast cancer, so we must change totally, completely different kind of concept, not just focus on the cancer itself. And we must real focus on how to create balance. The balance. When the body gets a balance, disease cannot enter. That is the key.
Diving in a little bit further into the emotions and the qi, I think we have a number of people in our audience that are not as familiar with the meridians and the emotions that they're associated with. So can you tell us a little bit more about those lines, like which lines are associated with which emotions, and how is that relevant to our study of breast cancer?
See, the meridians is the energy network. Easy to say, it's the energy network. Beside this energy network, meridians also is your energy body. The unique identity, your true identity is the meridians. Different meridians will create different qi. It's qi, it's life. Your true life is based on your meridian. It's not based on your DNA. It's not based on the physical body. Think about it. When you die, what's missing? Nothing missing. All the organs are still there. What are you missing? You're missing the qi. The qi is gone. So therefore, each organ can be still there, but you are not there. So the meridians contain all the life and the information. It's a network. And many people might heard in quantum physics, what they say, quantum entanglement. How can you entangle? You are entangled based on the meridians. That's the energy. You can entangle something outside yourself. Where? Life source. That's what we say the qi. The qi, each one of us has its own identity, never change, unique, never duplicate. So based on these and the meridians, then based on each organs, we all have a different type of the emotions. Emotions is just exciting, the qi is moving. But the emotions is based on our belief. We believe different, emotions different. If emotions are out of balance and cannot flow freely, will cause energy stagnation. Then when energy stack there, and will cause the blood stacking there. And if long enough, and something will create different shows. Just think about the condition is a different language called the body language. Don't think it's the cancer. Just think it's a language. Just think it's a different kind of vocabulary. The body try communicate with us. You need to change. The body try tell you, you better change. Breast cancer, it's the body try to send a message and say, hey, you better change. You better change your life. Otherwise, you are going to die. That's exactly the language. So therefore, I always tell my patients, do not just focus on the cancer, but to focus on how to change the life. You don't want your entire life just deal the cancer. You want your rest of life, how to create a new life, new happy life.
That's certainly a much more encouraging message than we usually get. Before we get into questions, we want to start thinking about in this series, what kind of tools does TCM use in order to break the stagnation and have Qi move again?
I often tell my patients, it's a path change, it's a thought change, it's the processing change. Everything happens for a reason. So what is the reason? You need to go through this. You need to go through this cancer. So you have to understand why this kind of condition, you chose this for change your life. So in Chinese medicine, they are not just helping you to fight the cancer. They can help you at all the different stages. Even say, I want to do the chemotherapy and the radiation during this time, how to keep your immune system high enough, you can go through it, right? Now, how can it help you after treatment to balance the body, to clean up its side effect, then continue move on for the new life? Which area, based on the chart you can see, location, associated organs, associated meridians, that means in that area, still tell you what is the real root cause issue. That location relate the organs, relate the meridians, relate the emotions that must addressed. Otherwise, the cancer might still come back. That's not just Chinese medicine talk about. It's the science. The modern science already state energy never lost. Energy never lost. It seems it can be disappear at the one location, but they will merge out in the different areas. So therefore, force us try to understand what is the root cause. How can we deal with the root cause issues? That's why we're going to continue this conversation for the next couple of sessions, so we can get in deeper to understand how Chinese medicine deal with real specific issues.
We've had a really great start to getting so much information already. It's a great time to offer a chance for people to ask questions. One question I see, Dr. Lu, is when speaking about a woman's identity, how far or deep does this go? Does this relate to personal power, self-confidence, sense of identity, self-esteem, sense of purpose, concepts, things like this? What does it relate to?
Or much deeper. If you only talk about the own identity, that means you already born. You're already born. So you have to understand your inherited genetic code. You have to understand the whole nature involved during the pregnancy, because you are the child of the universe. This body is so small, so little things. That's Chinese medicine defined. What is the human being? The human being is the nature's qi contained, combining with the earth's qi and manifest into the human beings. So the human being just as the signs of the universe. So therefore you say identity. What is identity? Your own soul, with the unique line. Connect together, create who you are, where you are, how you are, and when you are.
Another question that is similar is, can this concept be applied to all cancer types, focusing on the meridian location, lifestyle, associated emotions, and digging deeper for root cause?
Yes or no. Because other cancers, unlike breast cancer, is directly. Other cancer, there's no meridian direct. Liver cancer, the liver meridians doesn't directly enter the liver. They are connected, but not directly. So the breast cancer so unique. The meridians directly go through. No other cancer can compare to breast cancer. That's why it's so unique. That's why you can see in the treatment, in the clinic, sometimes a miracle happens. They come in with the breast lumps, and the one treatment, they can shrink immediately. Why? Meridians.
Okay. Can you speak about the medially located cancer, the 15% area, and how it is different from the more common area?
Their area, so 15% and 6% in these lines, generally speaking, are associated with the kidney issue. It's these lines control.
Okay. Marie, go ahead with your question.
Hi, Dr. Lu. I was wondering if you can talk more about how a woman would go about really changing her life. What does that look like when you say the life is off balance and she needs to focus on creating a new happy life?
I often ask the women, how serious you want to be this. You want to do this, you have to do the serious homework. You have to truly understanding who you are, where you are, how you are, when you are. Often I say, do the homework, called emotional homework. Get a 3-piece paper. First, write down everything what you love to do, if you have a chance. Mm-hmm. The second is everything you hate to do. And the third one is everything your daily life. After this, you don't need anyone tell you, you already know what's going on. If you look at yourself every day, your daily life, you're doing 70% of things you hate, how can you have a good life? See how simple it is. Now you're going to start to change. That's just a materialized, physical materialized. Therefore, you will face into the challenge as your belief, as your emotions, as your thoughts, your feelings. Until something challenges you, then you have to change. Without the change, you cannot change the feeling. I tell my patients, doing this basic homework will help you. If you're doing this, you really want to change, you can change, because that will give you total freedom.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Related back to the question that was just asked earlier about the 15% and 6% area, that it's the line between the stomach and the kidney meridian. There's this question about which emotions there are the primary focus. What emotions are related to that placement of the cancer?
All emotional are associated with the liver function, which is anger, the frustrations. You have your emotions, you have your feelings, but your feeling never can be 100% experienced. Doesn't allow you to have a chance expression your true feelings. Then what kind of emotions? Suppressed, right? So that kind of suppressed will cost breast cancer, but still doesn't mean they are tended to the cancer, because the cancer is in the other levels. is near the levels of the total emotions. Because we all know what is cancer. We all agree. Cancer almost like we purchase the ticket. Cancer is a ticket. You jump on the train. The train is lead you. People say, oh, you got a cancer. You might going to die. It's the life threatening. The cancer is a life threatening. Diabetic is not a life threatening. Arthritis is not life threatening. So once you become cancer, that means it's a life and the death choice. It's a choice. You own this train. Do you want to get off? You want to get off, you need to have guts. That's the concept. Do you want to change the path? Change the train? Get off? It is possible. Definitely it's possible. Everything's possible if you meet the requirement. How many times I see my patients, doctors say, no way. They still alive today. Miracle still happens. You have to believe a miracle comes from inside out, never come from outside in. So therefore, no matter what kind of treatment would you got, unless you truly understand yourself, your true identity, you never can treat the root cause the issues. This one is very difficult. So that's why it's unique in Chinese medicine, because they are trying to teach the patient how can you have a freedom, free.
So a related question, could addressing stagnation of energy and related emotions cure the cancer? Or paying attention to energy balance is only good for prevention?
If you lead to this balance, it doesn't mean you prevent the cancer. Cancer is a different angle. In Chinese medicine, Qi point of view, put it this way, the cancer, suppose, is the most easy to treat conditions among all the others. Why? Because they are so clear, life and death. You have to make a choice. Other disease you can carry forever. Diabetic, you just change the diet forever. The food allergy, forever. Autoimmune disease, you can be forever, doesn't matter. But cancer is not, you can't be forever. You have to make a decision. So once you understand, they immediately can change. So that's why in the cancer treatment, often you see the miracles. Why? Because it's so sharp. You have to make a choice. So it's a practitioner's responsibility to guide the patient, to enhance the power, to allow the patient to see they can heal themselves. Then it's a patient's responsibility to use these wisdoms to change their lives.
People are asking about Qigong exercises that will help to decrease stagnation in the meridians.
We don't need to discuss here. That will be down the road.
That's what I figured.
Later, we will discuss these things.
One person is asking a question about metastasizing cancers. Breast cancer can metastasize to other areas, liver, bone, brain. How does the application of root causes apply to that kind of scenario?
That just means that this time the breast cancer go out more, the boundary. That means the real issue they never deal. Before just on the breast area. Now it's not enough. So thinking this way, the energy has to expand all the different areas. It's more serious, more challenge.
Okay. One point that I will follow up on is if the metastasizing occurs, do you then go back to the root cause? Is it the same? Is it different? How do you think about it if it has metastasized?
You still have to start where they start. So that means how do they start? At the beginning, they started location, that is the first area. So if in the area they haven't really addressed the root cause the issue, they still not satisfied the outcome, then the creativity will allow this cancer and expand it to the other areas, right? So that means the body's own immune system totally out of the control. You cannot control it anymore. Why? Everything has a why. It's not a how.
Mama Chang, go ahead.
You say that breast cancer is quite unique and that the meridians run through there. And you also say, if I understand you correctly, that cancer is a stagnation issue. So how do we address the stagnation in our meridians? And I know you've already asked this question about Qigong, because I understand that Qigong will address stagnation. And that is the key that I want answered, whether it's today or throughout this whole thing. And also, how do you feel about herbs and addressing the stagnation in our bodies and with cancer?
Qigong and the herb, they are only as the support. They are only can be support. Why? Because they are all from outside in, not inside out. The cancer is created from inside out.
So it is basically your brain that needs to change. We need to reprogram our brain to think differently.
Yes,
and get rid of
my goodness.
And get rid of all of the energy and let the negative energy go towards the earth and let it get out so that we cannot have any negative energy in our body and no stagnation.
Not exactly.
Okay.
It's energy. Think this energy, right? Energy.
Okay.
Energy
Yeah.
is just like money. The money has no discrimination. Money is money. Just how to use the money. Energy is energy. How to use the energy. Which means why you want to use this energy. Create the cancer show. Instead of use energy, create new life. Now tell me, it's energy. It's all about the energy, which is, we say the qi, right? It's a qi.
Right. Yep.
The qi has a creativity. Why you need to create this? For what? Who's gonna understanding you? You for yourself or for others? So sometimes I see my patients after this, my daughter call me. I say, why not? Why you want your daughter call you and then get the cancer? Understand what I say? A lot of people, that's so deep. Sometimes it's a first class. I don't want to go that deep. But the idea is no matter it's Qigong doing, acupuncture, or herb, or even magical pill, nothing can do. They only can do help, but only you holding the key. You have to understand why. Once you understand, it's a piece of cake. I'm not going to do this. You understand? It's show is over, then I create a different show. It's energy.
Yeah. I hope that you also address the Qigong movements for breast cancer.
We will down the road. That's much easier. The first class, I need to lay. It's called the foundation. It's concept different. Therefore, we will make the approach different. The healing treatment will be different. Then later, how to change the life will be different because the concept is different.
Jill, go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Lu. If a person who has breast cancer knows that she or he knows they have to change because they're out of balance, but they don't know how. In other words, there are triggers that trigger them. They get aggravated, they get upset, but they can't really see their way to change. These are long-standing reactions, patterns. It's easy to say change, but it isn't always easy to do it. What would you recommend for people who have long-standing negative patterns, which have gotten them in trouble getting cancer or disease, and they want to change, but they can't unblock themselves?
It's a practitioner's skill. The practitioners only can help. So the practitioners has to create the new ways and guide the patient to see little by little. If you tighten the circuit string, how to untight. You cannot pull too fast. You cannot pull too slow. You have to very gently and slowly allow the patient to understand. Once they understand, they will willing to change because no one wants to die. The bottom line is, cancer, you're going to die. You don't have time. You have to act quickly. That's why I say it's not like arthritis. You have an entire life to deal with the pain. Cancer, you don't. You only have this window, the time. So therefore, the practitioner's skill is very important. Since there are no accidents, every patient find different practitioners. Also, it's a setup. It's a setup. So the patient and the practitioners become partners. So the practitioners must change the mind, must helping patient to see different, to jump out the box. You want a miracle, you have to jump out the box. Use the modern science point of view, different angle, see different things, just like different time, you see different space. You change the time, you change the space. That's the science.